We are live. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Come on in here, beautiful people. It's day one of 2021. Listen, day one of 2021. What is it all about? Man, this year, it's all about winning. Man, it's all about winning in this year. And so I'm excited about starting our effective living talk that we've been having in the mornings with you guys. And so if you're on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Here on Facebook, make sure you go ahead and like Effective Living with Coach Ricardo Miller. But man, listen, Happy New Year's, guys.
Happy
Happy New
New
Year's.
Year.
Go ahead and plug in where you're viewing from. Go ahead and plug in where you're viewing from. And let us know, man. Let us know. Good morning. It's all about winning in 2021. Yep, it's all about winning in 2021. Come on in here. I am joined this morning, the first day of the year. I'm joined with my kingdom brother, none other than Pastor Herb Ford of Lima, Ohio. Pastor Ford, how are you doing?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing great. So good
I
to be
can,
with you as always. Can you hear me okay?
I
Hello?
can hear you, man. Yes, sir.
Good, good,
Yep, I
good.
can hear you.
Yeah, so great to be with you as always, Coach Ricardo. You know, you have great content and you're always, on the grind, man. So I love being around you, brother. So it's exciting.
Well, man, listen, I'm glad for us to be able to connect this morning. Listen, we got the Bahamas always plugged in. Dallas is plugged in. We want to see where you're plugged in from. So go ahead and put that in the chat. And I kicked off the new year in Houston, Texas, man. I decided, I went and did a drive yesterday. And I started to reflect. I've been praying and just asking God, what is it? Some of the things I got to do, and my clients have to do for those who are following the effective living platform. And so, in the hotel lobby this morning, I am about to go and have breakfast and just start my day off good, and then connect with my kingdom brother. You all know who my kingdom brother is in Houston, the guy who got Houston on lock in 2021. But man, listen, I want to talk to you about something, man. There is so much anticipation on what persons are expecting this year. My auntie Dada is in the house. Auntie Dada, how are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Herb Ford, you disappeared for a minute there, brother.
I know, man. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully we're back a little bit and a little bit better. So
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hey, listen, we're talking about what to be left behind, what needs to be left behind, what needs to stay behind. And if you're watching this morning, I'm joined with Herb Ford, and we're talking about 2021. Happy New Year's to everyone. Please go ahead. What are you leaving behind? What have you left behind? Let's say that. What have you left behind? Because Ford, I wrote down some things, and I feel as though going into this year, there are some things people have to do in order to liberate themselves in regards to living effectively and capitalizing on their best days ahead of them. And I think number one was comparing themselves with others. I mean, just
yeah,
going into this year, I think there needs to be this laser focus where it's not about what she is doing, what he is doing. It's about what you've been called to do, because nobody can beat you being you in this year. Talk to us, Ford.
it's interesting that you say that because Coach Ricardo, when God made Ricardo Miller,
Yeah.
he broke the mold when he got done. You know what I'm saying? There's only one Ricardo Miller, just like there's only one of you.
Yeah.
And I think that the sooner that we begin to understand that, the sooner we embrace that, and not allow ourselves to be caught up in what other people are doing. Now, there's nothing wrong with gleaning from somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody that's reaching out, that's breaking barriers, that's doing things that are a little bit different, or the things that you may want to do. But one of the things that we can't get into is trying to grab a hold of somebody else's anointing or somebody
Yeah.
else's gifting, because what happens there, you can spend a lifetime trying to be somebody that
Yeah.
you ain't supposed to be.
To be. Yeah.
Let me explain something. when God made you, you are a puzzle piece. I remember a
Yeah.
good friend of mine told me, he said, know your value,
Yeah.
know your value. And you are the piece that fits. But you fitting into your position is not the same as
Yeah.
you trying to fit into someone else's position. And when
Yeah.
we do those kind of things, what we do is we waste valuable time,
Yeah.
valuable friendships,
Yeah.
valuable things. And so, so I just want to encourage people to don't think about what Johnny is doing across the street. Know what you got to do. Plug in there and laser focus, like you talked about, to get down the road here
You
this
know,
year.
Ford, I'm 45. God's willing, I'll be 46 in October. 2021 makes me 46. And one of the things I struggled with for years, brother, was accepting me.
Yeah.
There were almost 8 billion people on the planet, and we have this way of making people feel like they're more valuable when they fit into our mold rather than celebrating and appreciating their difference. And I know people who are comfortable being different, but I struggle with it for a long time. So it feels good to learn how to embrace me. And so if you're watching us this morning, going into embracing this year, this is day one. You got to learn how to embrace you. Understand that you have something to offer no one else has to offer. So learn to love you. And then watch this, learn to discover you, but make sure you're not trying to be no one else. As Herb Ford said, you can learn from others, but you should never try to become others. Okay? You should never try to be anyone else. You should just simply try to learn from others who have figured out certain things you haven't figured out. Herb, how important is it going into this year in every day moving forward? This is day one, day two, day three, going in to the fullness of what 2021 is going to be. The toxic friends and family members. Oh my goodness, toxic friends and family members. Because friends, that term makes for an agreement. Family makes for a covenant lock in. And to say, leave toxic family, leave toxic friends alone, a lot of people can't do it, Ford.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important for people to, also not just be led by their own ego, but also be led by the Spirit of God. And the reason why I say that is because you can be in a place for so long,
Yeah.
the people, the places, and things that you've encountered.
Yeah.
You can be in a place so long and feel like that's where you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest with you, in order for you to get to the promise, okay, in order for you to get to the things that God has for you, honey, sometimes you got to walk away from all of that. The Bible lets us know that at Abraham, when he was 70 years old, now that means that you've been around your folks too long, okay? 70 years old, he said, I need you to, I want to bless you and I want to make you great. But I cannot make you great in that house that you're in now. I cannot make you great with those folks that you're around right now. Why? Because those folks, their direction is different from your direction. So what I need you to do is get up out of that house, and I'm not going to tell you what direction to go. I said, just put your feet in front of you and get to walking. And when you get there, I'll let you know. So I think it's important that we allow ourselves to be led by the Spirit of God to go on and get out of there and move forward, because they're greater things, they're deeper dimensions, they're stronger realities that the Lord wants to walk you into. But he cannot do that if your atmosphere is messed up. That's what the issue was. Atmosphere was not conducive for miracles. The atmosphere was not conducive, for him to birth a child. The atmosphere was not conducive for the best of heaven to come up on him. And so because of that, it put him in a position to where he had to, you know what, I got to, and it took him a while because he took his cut with him too. No, I said everybody. I didn't say, I didn't just say, I said, you got to get up out of there. And when he did, it was 29 years or so later that he actually has a son. But you know what? He is now called and considered the father of faith.
Okay. Listen, man, Ford, that is so right on. Ladies and gentlemen, watching us this morning on day one of 2021, there comes a time in your life you just got to know, listen, I'm going to have to draw up a plan. I'm going to have to do what I need to do to eventually get myself out of this connection. This is a connection that's not working for me. It's working against me. And it may not be immediate, but there has to be a strong agenda to get out of that land. If that land is not the place for you, then you need to know, listen, I need to get out, I need to get away, and I need to go as far as possible. One of the things that I discovered, Ford, was that I'm beloved in the Bahamas. I love home, I love my family, I love everybody there, but there's something that comes to a person when you find yourself out there by yourself and you got to hold it down. And let me tell you something, coming to Texas, being in Dallas, listen, no brother, no sister, no auntie, no mother, no cousin. Listen, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Do or die. You get what I'm saying? Just do or die. And you got to get to the point where you realize if God be for me, who could be against me? I'm going to draw up a plan. I'm going to draw up a plan. And wherever I go, I'm going to make sure I'm going in a setting where I'm not having to deal with toxicity. I'm talking about I want to be free. I want to be liberated. I want to be able to soar. Somebody is going to soar in 2021 because they've decided to get rid of the weight. Listen, the weight of negative conversations, the weight of bad energy, the weight of a weight of facial expression that just sort of zaps the spirit that's inside of you. Listen, your association matters. Okay, so what you got to do is sometimes you got to just wean your way out of some people's life. They don't see you as much, they don't hear from you as much, but here's the deal: you're going up. You're going up. And the goal is to never come down. The goal is to embrace your potential, maximize it to the fullest, and find yourself in a place where the father looks down and he says, there goes my beloved son. There goes my beloved daughter, in whom I'm well pleased.
Coach, I'll say it this way. It's easier to fly without concrete boots on. I just put it that way.
Come on.
To fly without concrete boots on, brother. And that's what's been, and that's what a lot of people's problem is. They just are around folks that are just wearing them down.
Yes. Listen, free yourself, okay? Draw up a plan to ensure that over time you find yourself in the best setting. Environment matters. Someone needs to write that down. Environment matters. So over time, you want to make sure that you're in the right environment that's going to help you to become the person that you were destined to be. Hey, listen, guys, I'm Coach Ricardo Miller. I'm joined with Herb Ford, and we're talking this morning about things you ought to leave behind or ought to have left behind in 2020. Now, here's the deal. 2020 was a challenging year for many, but 2021, I believe it's the year for winning. Winning in every area of your life. And let me tell you something, you better learn how to declare that. I'm going to win in every area of my life. Could I get about a dozen of you to declare that right now? I'm going to win in every area of my life. First of all, you got to have some confidence to be able to say that. Because you got, watch this, you got kin folks who want to break you down. What you talking about? You're going to win in every area. I'm coming for all that's mine in 2021, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Listen, every month, Ricardo Miller is going to learn how to capture all that he could get out of each month, because here's the deal. God gave you the day for a reason. He gave you this week, this month, this year for a reason. Now you got to tell yourself, I refuse to have what he gave me and not maximize it to the fullest. Don't allow anybody to tell you your hustle is too hardcore. Losers try to bring you down to their level of performance. Winners challenges you to constantly push the envelope. Herb Ford, there are individuals watching us who dread pushing to the next level, who dread giving it them, they've given their all. And it's oftentimes because they may have seen someone try it and fail. They may have tried before and failed, or they saw what just happened to the world. They saw what happened during the pandemic in the early of 2020. Challenge those to not allow the dreading dynamics of progress. So you want to succeed, but you're dreading doing something.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that Ricardo put down there and just said it just a moment ago is he didn't say the word, but it's vision is what it is. Because a lot of times when you deal with, at one time I was a pharmaceutical sales consultant, and we dealt with the disease state, depression. And one of the issues with depression is typically when something negative happens and you don't respond back the proper way, that's how depression sets in. So whether it's the loss of a loved one, the loss of a dream, the loss of whatever, and you can't respond back. And so there's a prescription that you use to kind of help the chemicals in your mind kind of stay there longer, so you respond back the right way. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
One of
Yep.
the things that you have to understand in life is that I remember hearing from Og Mandino, one of the best books I've ever read before, called The Greatest Salesman. One of the things that he said is that we have to squeeze our potential until it begs for mercy. You know what I'm saying? We have to squeeze our potential until it begs for mercy. I'm working with a confectionery company right now, and one of the things that they say is that we use all of our resources and leave nothing remaining. You know what I'm saying? And so these are the kinds of things, the mindset that you have to have if you're going to win. Why? Because winners, Ricardo, I've been seeing this. You've been having this winning thing. I've been seeing it. We talked about it just for a moment.
Yep.
I didn't know you were going in this direction. But let me explain something to you. Winning takes championship effort. You understand what I'm talking about?
Hey, don't stop saying what you're saying, because I'm gonna show them something while you're saying that. Say that again.
Winning takes championship effort. Period. That's what it is. Winning at life. I see you, my friend. And so winning takes championship effort. And many times what people don't understand is, like, today they're going to have the bowl games on today. They're going to have two of the playoff games to see who goes to the national championship for college football. Well, those are championship caliber teams. Yep. They do everything on another level. There is nothing. I'm talking about down to shoelaces that ain't did right. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they understand that to win a championship, we need everybody walking in one accord. And that's the same way with you. Yep. You're gonna have to, if you're gonna have a championship year, you're gonna have to jot down the things that you want to do, and you're gonna have to go step by step, day by day. That's what I hear the Lord saying. He was saying that the other day, day by day, son. Yep. Day by day, son. Yep. You know, you can cast the vision, but you know what? Yep. It's day by day. You're trying to self-discipline yourself to lose weight or to eat right or whatever the case is. You know what? It's day by day. It's meal by meal. Yep. It's shutting it down. It's focusing on. It's the laser focus. And I think that if we can give that type of effort and not dread the tomorrow and not dread. Let me tell you how you not dread something. When you can see, when you have vision for something greater. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Bible talks about stuff like this. Renewing of your mind, of your mind, that you may prove what is that good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. When you renew your mind, that means you got to see something different, and not be afraid to fail. You know what I'm saying? See something different and not be afraid to fail. Why? Because failing is just going to get you one step closer to your destiny. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't take too long there, Ricardo.
No, you didn't take too long at all. That is so good. You listen. Your track and field records indicate that you're a disciplined man who understands the power of laser focus and a commitment that will bring you to a level of result that others won't have. You've been blessed to even train your son about how to go hard and bring home the medals. Talk to us this morning for those who have those self-limiting beliefs. Once again, that's something I struggle with. A lot of people see me pushing my effective living platform. Listen, man, pray for them, because I still have times where, listen, self-limiting beliefs, okay? Will they pay me this? Will that amount of people come to my webinars? Or listen, my diction may not be presented like other people's. My educational background is not as strong as some. I don't know everybody that other people may feel as though they know. You'll be amazed what others will use as self-limiting beliefs. Whereas, Herb Ford, one of the things I discovered is we doubt ourselves even after we're doing certain things. Okay? I've been crushing it for years. But still, there's still this self-limiting belief that tries to come in and hold a brother down. So when I talk, I don't only talk for my audience, I'm talking for me. So when I say 2021 will be the year for winning in every area of my life, I ain't playing. But I'm not teaching that only, I'm in pursuit of living that. If you're watching this today, go ahead and declare that for yourself. 2021 will be the year for winning in every area of my life. You got to say it. Say it, confess it, and write it. Say it, confess it, constantly write it. Okay? Ford, what was the thing that helped your son to push past those, what we call self-limiting beliefs?
Well, I mean, those kind of things that you're talking about are not only psychological, but they are
Yeah.
also knowledge based. Okay,
Yeah.
why? Because limited belief systems are connected to limited thinking, and
Yep.
so limited
Yep.
thinking is connected to information. So one of
Mm.
the things that we have to do is we have to increase our capacity for the right types of things. You
Yep.
have to
Yep.
understand that when God made you, He made a God. He didn't
Yep.
make a
Yep.
cat.
Yep. Yep.
He didn't make a
Yep.
dog.
Yep.
He made
Yep.
a God with a small g. So
Yep.
one of the problems, and this is what the Lord dealt with me the other day on, is you have to begin. And matter of fact, I was reading a good friend of mine's book. Well, actually, a good friend of yours and a former mentor of yours, Dr. Miles Monroe. He wrote a book called Rediscovering the Kingdom, and he
Yep.
said the problem with most people is they have been around the wrong kind of people most of their life.
Yep.
Their thinking has been limiting thinking.
Yep.
Their thinking has been downtrodden kind of thinking and caused them to be in the state that they're in.
Yep.
And he said the reason and why that's bad is because they don't understand how to think
Yep.
like a
Yeah.
God. You
Yeah.
understand what
Come
I'm
on.
saying?
Come on. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
how to think like God. And
Yeah.
so how do I think like God? I
Yep.
think like God based on the things that my mind that are in my mind, my will, and my emotions, which is a
Yep.
part of your soul.
Yep.
So what your eyes take in and what your ears take in are going to be the only thing that's going to help you reset from the limiting thinking or limiting belief system. The Bible
Yep.
says, as a man
Think it.
think in his heart,
Yep.
so is he. So
Yep.
your thinking is
Yep.
connected to your believing.
Yep.
If you begin to believe
Yep.
that you are successful, then
Yep.
you will begin to be successful. Why?
Yep.
Because when you start thinking like a champion,
Yep.
then you begin to go another direction. I'll give you another example of what I'm talking about, Ricardo. Nick Saban, who one of his teams will be playing today, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yep.
He instituted something in his system where he said they asked him about having he had like sports psychologists or something at his training center or for guys to be able to go to, and they
Yep.
said why. He said well, some of the guys that come to us, what I found out is that until they begin to understand and have the knowledge of winning or what it takes to win, sometimes psychologically they don't think right. And
Yep.
so what we try to do is get them to think right.
Think right.
And if
Yep.
we think right,
Mhm.
then we can win on the field. And that's
Yep.
why they continue every year to be one of the top 4 teams in the
Yep.
United States of America. Why?
Wow.
They win because they think they can win. They win
Wow.
because they believe what they think. And I think that's one of
Mm.
the ways that we can do that. And that's one of the things that I did with Christian. I had to
Yep.
make sure that Christian, where I am, where I went, that is the basement for you. Do you understand what
Yep.
I'm talking
Yep.
about?
Yep.
So
Yep.
the mindset, my son said this many times, Ricardo, when he got to college, he's like, Daddy, you know, man, you told me about all of this stuff right here. And,
Yep.
you know, things were coming to him and having these days. Oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen because you told me that that was going to
Yep.
happen
Yep. Yep.
back
Yep.
when, you know, whatever. I
Yep.
said, that's
Yep.
exactly how it is. You just stay the course, you
Yep.
lean in, you be focused, you do
Yep.
what you got to do. And so
Yep.
what he said was, you know what, Dad, it is what it is. And, you know, your concept of the 10,000 hour rule,
Yep.
that it's
Yep.
going to take you this long to
Yep.
change the mindset.
Yep.
So you become a professional. Now he's
Yep.
not quite a professional yet, but he is a
Yep.
Division I track and field athlete.
Yes. Listen, man. Listen, and you've done a phenomenal job with him. You and your wife. Listen, kudos to you guys. But here's what I discovered, Ford, and you just sort of dived into that to a big degree. This self limiting belief that holds people back, if you don't put in the time to get the information to ensure that you know at the very core of your very essence that I was born to win. You know, we get the surface content, right, but we don't go deep. We don't go deep and understand our makeup, understand that we were made in the image and likeness of God. So here's the deal. When I speak a thing, I can create a thing. When I start to thinking, when I start to think, my thought life is doing something. Come on, my word life is doing something. My action is doing something. When I align the three of those up, my thoughts, my action, my words, I become literally unstoppable because of who I've been created like. Now, however, Ford, we get the surface, I'm the head. We get the surface, I'm the lender. We get the surface, I'm supposed to be blessed going out and blessed coming in. What we have not done is got the work in relations to getting the appropriate information to make sure that we can bring that level of results out.
Yeah,
There are people who have so much potential within them, but the term winning, they're afraid to say, I'm going to win in marriage. I'm going to win in finances. I'm going to win with my health. I'm going to win with my children. I'm going to win in my career. I'm going to win in every area of my life. When I say that, someone is watching me today saying that's an arrogant statement. But the truth of the matter is, every time they have won because they have pursued winning from the inside out, even if they didn't say it publicly on an open forum like I'm doing. They said, I'm going to crush this exam. I'm going for this promotion. I'm going to get this degree. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to buy this house. I'm going to upgrade this car. I'm going to marry that girl. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to start that business. All of those are still terms of saying I'm going to win. I'm going to educate and help I'm going to raise my child so well that he's going to get a full ride. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to train, coach, inspire. When you say those things are still in line with winning. You can't be afraid to say, I'm going to win. Hereford, why do people struggle with the idea to say confidently, I was born to win?
I think people struggle from that, Ricardo, is because they don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? They don't know who they are, and they don't know who their God is. Why? Because God doesn't make losers. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
He
right.
doesn't do that. You know, even in the situation when Adam fell in the garden, God's like, you know what? We're gonna reset this. And the first Adam, but we're gonna have another one, and we're gonna reset this, and we're gonna fix this. Why? Because God plays until he wins. And so one of the things is that we have to understand as people of faith, and as people who are wanting to live the best life that God has for us, that you cannot allow the old manna per se, or the old mindset to hold you down. Many times these self-limiting, not just beliefs, but not wanting to declare who we are is connected to wrong thinking that's connected to pride. Okay. It's connected to arrogance. It's connected to, some of these things you might not think is that, well, that's why I wouldn't say it, because no, you won't say it because that's a you think too high of yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to make sure that we don't think too high of ourselves. But again, I said it before and I'll say it again. If a cat makes a cat and a dog makes a dog, God makes gods. And let me tell you something. God's rule. I've been saying this. I started yesterday. 2021 is the year to elevate and dominate. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so we cannot allow ourselves anymore to be limited in our thinking. I'll give this example and I'll be done. The Bible says that God sent out that Moses sent out 10 spies to a land, 12 spies. When they came back, the spies came back and they said, man, we saw something. And we don't know that we don't believe that we can win that land over there. We saw giants over there. We were like grasshoppers in our own eyes. I want somebody to take the cataracts off today. I want somebody to take off 20/20 eyeballs, 20/20 contact lenses, and you need to put on 20/21, just like Joshua and Caleb, and say, we can take them. We are well able to take this land. We are going over there and we're going to win no matter what. That's the mindset.
Listen, you better say it today. Listen, no matter what, I'm going to win in every area of my life in 2021. Listen, somebody needs to say that with us today. No matter what, I'm going to win in 2021.
When you get me to talking, brother, you know it's coming, but you don't know which direction. You don't know how I'm gonna hit that bad boy. It's like I gotta open up this pop, and it's been somebody been shaking it for a while. Man, if I pop this thing open, I don't know where forward it's coming because it's going, but it's gonna come, brother.
Let me say this to those that are viewing us this morning. Tomorrow is not promised to no man, but you have been given 2021. When are you going to roar? Herb, I had to get out of town for a couple of days. I'm in Houston, Texas right now, and I needed to get away because I feel there's an anticipation for what God is going to do. And there comes a time you need to get away. There's a time you need to have that sabbatical. There's a time you need to have that time of prayer. Shut off everybody. Nobody may be able to understand why I had to get away. But let me tell you something. I'm 45 years old. And I felt the Lord was saying to me, Ford, yes, you have done some things, but when are you going to really roar? When are you going to really win at the level that your potential demands for you to win? Why are you playing so small? Why are you so concerned with popular opinion about you when the truth is every day you get up, your hustle is supposed to be about letting your light shine for me so that I can be glorified in the earth. When people see the success in Ricardo Miller, it's not because Ricardo Miller is awesome. It's because the God Ricardo Miller served is awesome. So get up every day and tell yourself it's time to be who I was created to be. Now, here's the deal. With that said, we all need to find ourselves in an environment where we're inspired, okay? And so I found that there are lack of inspiration. The lack of inspiration. There is this need to make sure that you're getting fed the right stuff. I'm here in Houston, and let me tell you something. I got a brother who ain't afraid to give inspiration. The empowerment guy. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Franco Charles.
Yes, sir. You right? I'm here gonna spend a couple of days with my brother, and you gotta know how to get around the right people. You got to know how to draw up those plans. You got to know how to start working on. I like what you said about the training. They brought in the experts, have them stand on the sideline to help the guys get their minds right. Because if they were going to push the envelope where that never gone before, you're going to need to have the right level of inspiration to fuel that. Talk to us about inspiration.
Yeah, I think inspiration is extremely important. And the way that we get an inspiration is by seeing those who go before us do well. It's so exciting. I'm going to go back to my son and the years of coaching and whatnot that I've done. Now, I was, a Division I guy myself. I was on the cover of our media guide. I was one of our top recruits. I had a freshman record when I started. Just so many different things. I got to run against Olympians when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? And so, so I've been able to make sure that my son knew that. Now, let me give you an example. The reason why I'm saying this is because when we started out this journey with my son, he was clay. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was clay. And though he had some genetics that were working for him, there were still some things that weren't there, weren't quite there. And I'll give you this particular story because I remember when he was, I think it was like 8 or 9 years old. And what happened was he didn't make a particular meet. It was called the national qualifier is what it was. And he didn't make it out of the national qualifier. And he had tears in his eyes. He was crying because some of his friends made it. His friends made it. And he was like, how come I can't get there, Dad? And so I said, well, here's the thing, son. If you really want to get there, let me show you what you're going to have to do. He needed a coach. Okay.
Yes.
So what ended up happening was I said, son, we're going to have to do push-ups in the morning and dips. We're going to have to do calf raises.
Come on.
We're going to have to do pull-ups. We're going to have to do some high knees, butt kicks. We're going to have to do more workouts. But if you do this, if you get up in the morning, I have the video of it. I said, but if you do this, you will make it to that particular deal. So what I did was this right here. I trained him. He did it a good 6 months, man. Every morning, getting up, pushing, Daddy, we got to go. I'm tired. You know what I mean? Here we go. And so what happened was that next year, he lined up just like he had lined up the years before. And then I did something special. Not only had we had all the training and all the work, put the work in, but I said, if you win, you're going to get Lego Star Wars on your video. I put it out there in front. And I have the race to this day. Not only, he said, not only did he cross it at a time that he had never run before, but he beat every single young man in the state. But it took a coach and it took some work.
Ooh, it took some work. It took a coach, guy.
And it inspired him.
Yes, and it inspired him. Thank you, Ford, for sharing that with us, man. And that's real. That's real right there, guys. Listen, if you're watching this, share this live right now. Allow someone else to experience what you're experiencing. This is day one of 2021. 2021 will be the year to win in every area of your life. And you got to declare that, and then you got to be prepared to put in the work. Ford, I like what you said. There was something that you didn't use the word, but it was built all into what you allowed your son to engage in, and that was a level of discipline. I think that lack of discipline this year will cause people not to win. Now, there are people, Ford, who look at me, and I do a video every morning. Okay, this is day one, and we started the year off with a video. Hey, this brother doing another video. I was talking to a lady the other day, and she says, I want to do what you're doing, but I don't know if I can do a video every day. Well, you don't compare. You remember we talked about that? Don't compare. What is God inspiring you to do? That's first and foremost. But the next thing is, are you disciplined enough to do what at least you say you're going to do? You understand what I'm saying? I know why I do my videos every day, but the question is, do you know why you are going to do what you're about to do? And do you have the discipline to go hard every day, or whatever day that thing you have assigned to be done on that day? Talk to us about discipline in winning.
Yeah, I mean, coach, I mean, you probably, you got like 18, you probably have like 18 decks already put together on this right here, so I'm really over in your world, to be honest with you, but thank you for giving me the floor for a minute. But one of the things that you have to understand is about discipline is much like the fruit of the spirit. We receive it in seed form. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter was asking me yesterday about self-control, because she was doing her devotional. And I said, well, the way that we get self-control, sweetheart, first of all, because we're born again believers, we have the seed of self-control. But the way that we get that self-control grown is we have to water it and we have to use it. Okay. So your heart is the ground, self-control is in there, but the washing of the word and the use of self-control to do it helps it grow from a seed into a plant. Okay. And so that's the same thing I think when we talk about discipline. Discipline, I heard was a man of God say it this way: discipline is doing what is required to get what is desired. Okay. And so
you're gonna need to say that again. Someone needs to write that down, because we got people watching, man. They're watching from around the world. Say that again. That is so good.
That is, discipline is doing what is required to get what is desired. And I think that many times we have to understand that discipline can be found in seed form. And so what we have to do is, let's say you want to get your workout going. All right. You don't start off on 10, honey. You don't start right there. Okay. Where you start is you say, you know what? I want to run around this neighborhood. Okay. So how do you run around a neighborhood? Well, first of all, if you ain't been running, okay, don't try to run around the whole neighborhood. But what you need to do is you need to take your goals and put them in bite-sized deals, sets, so that you can go after them. So you may say, you know what, day one, I'm going to run to that driveway. Okay. And you get out there, you put them shoes on, not like Ricardo Miller. Ricardo Miller, he just wheeled himself through a marathon. That ain't most people, baby. That ain't most people. Okay. You know why? Because I ain't seen them do too many more after that. You understand what I'm saying? Because what you have to do is you have to train your body for that. Your body, it doesn't have the ability to deal with that kind of shock. You know what I'm saying? It's ready. And so what I think the thing that you have to do is you have to take it a little bit at a time. You know what? I'm going to the second driveway tomorrow. Then I'm going to run to the third driveway the next day. And when you begin to do that, what you're doing is you're building the capacity to believe. You're building the capacity for discipline. It's the same way with your finances. The Bible says this right here: we ought to owe no man nothing but to love them. Okay. Many of the problems that we face in finances is connected to us wanting to live out our today through reaching for our tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So you want all the furniture that your mama, your daddy, and all them had and everything, and you want to get married and put everything in your house like it's brand new when they started off with a sofa.
Come on.
That's good stuff. So what I'm saying is that you can't you can't get God's not going to put $1 million in your hand if you can't be faithful over 10.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand what
yeah, yeah,
So I think that's where it is. And I have to fight this every day. You know,
yeah,
John Maxwell, he has a 30-minute deal that I showed our teenagers on self-discipline.
yeah,
He said, do you think I like getting up and doing this right now? He said,
yeah,
I don't like it, but I
yeah,
like being successful. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So my love for being successful
yeah,
outweighs my
yeah,
love for not wanting to get up in the morning to do. He said,
yeah.
I write every day.
Wow.
Woo! Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hold on now. Just like you said, Ricardo, I do a video
Yep.
every day. You know,
Every day. Yep.
whatever. Let me tell you why that is. That's because somebody has set something in motion
Yep.
to where it's in your mind
Yep.
that in order for me to not only keep going towards my goal,
Yep.
but also in order for me to continue to get ground and traction
Yep.
and to help my soul. Okay.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
this is the thing. You cannot prosper if you don't prosper in your soul. The
Yep.
Bible says this right here, beloved, above all things, I want you to prosper and
Yep.
be in health, even as your soul prospers. Why?
Yep.
Because if you don't prosper on the inside, baby, it's not going to happen on the outside.
Oh,
So
come on.
I think that what we have to do here, and I'm not trying to be long-winded, but I want to explain this right here,
Yep.
that most of the battles you are fighting,
Yep.
you are trying to fight them in the natural. Okay,
Yep.
let me just put it this way. And
Yep.
and Ricardo is a spirit-filled guy, so
Yep.
so he knows what I'm talking about.
Yep. Yep.
You try to just do it based on you going out and running. That is not going to happen.
Yep.
You have to first get into the spirit, which
Yep.
a lot of times has to do
Yep.
with your consciousness, has a lot to do with your we call it meditation, but you can also call it imagination. Okay, you got to get it there first.
Yes.
Okay, and a lot of times you get it there through your soul. Okay, I'm not trying to confuse anybody, but listen, if you get the right stuff in your eyes, the right stuff in your ears, the right people talking to you around the right people, it's going to get in there, and then you're going to start imagining what I need to do. And if I can imagine, if I can fix it in the spirit, which is the highest part of me, it can dictate to my body what I need to do, and thereby I can accomplish my goal.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the one and only Herb Ford, man. Listen, Ford, listen, it's day one. We're almost done, guys. We wanted to come in. I've been doing these videos. I wanted to be joined with my good friend. You can't just bring anybody on day one. Okay? You can't just bring anybody on day one. Somebody who understands commitment, discipline, drive, determination, and has no feelings on the external, but like Herb Ford, the internal, and understanding that we work from within out. And Ford, one of the things I've been dealing with this past year, 2020, was working from the inside out.
Wow.
You know, I was working from so in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of all the crazy things that's been happening in my life over the past couple of years, because I was working from inside out, this brother ain't trying to look good on the outside without taking care of the inside. My mama taught me, she said, listen, son, be stronger than you look. Okay, someone needs to write that down. Okay, be stronger than you look. So you could be rest assured. When I came out to Houston, I decided that I was going to do some work on the inside. You understand what I'm saying? When I was on that 3.5 hour drive, I was driving to do some work on the inside. This whole year coming, you're going to have to do the work on the inside. And if you do the right work on the inside, it's going to show itself on the outside. Now, Ford, before we go, we got a couple of more to do, but I want to talk about scheduling.
Hold on 1 second, man. Hold on for your schedule. I got to put this on because you said something in deep cause unto deep.
Yeah.
You know, you said be strong, be stronger than you look, son.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I remember, I think it was Brother Hagan, or it was either him or Summerall.
Yes.
Said, he said, I'm 1,000 times bigger on the inside than I am on the outside. You know what I'm saying? And I want to give you this. This scripture. I want to give you this because what you said is so powerful. But the Bible talks about a particular times when there was a pronunciation over a people, and I want to put this down here because I'm just trying to look it up, man. 1,000 times so much more than you are. It says it right here. Deuteronomy 1:11 says this. Woo! This is good for your winter.
Yeah.
It says right here in verse number 11, 1:11, it said, the Lord God of your fathers, make you 1,000 times so much more than ye are. My God in heaven, my God, and bless you as he has promised you.
Yes.
And bless
Yes.
you as he has promised you.
Yes.
Why am I saying that? It's because, baby, you are bigger on the inside. You are stronger on the inside. You are focused on the inside. Your spirit man is perfect. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your spirit man is perfect. The only thing you look, when I say perfect, I mean perfect, Ricardo. What I'm saying is that Revelations 5:12 declares this right here. Worthy is the lamb that was slain. What? Power, riches, wisdom, strength, honor, glory, and blessing. It says Jesus got those things, but it's Christ in you, the hope of glory. So all that stuff is in you. All you got to do is mine it out. And how do you mine it out? Get it from the inside to the outside. I get it out there by faith. I got to see.
By faith.
But anyway, man,
Hey, I was talking to a client last week, and they heard me deal with someone while I was out. I was talking to them, and they said, "Man, how come you didn't get upset with what they did?" I said, "Man, I've been working on making sure that the outside doesn't influence the inside. Nothing that occurs on the outside am I going to allow to disrupt the inside." I said, "There's a discipline. Listen, I'm not hurt for it. In 2021, I'm not going to give anybody power over me to upset the inside of me." That's some work you got to do on yourself, ladies and gentlemen, where you get to the point, he hurt my feelings. She hurt my feelings. Listen, let's get to the point where you work on you so well on the inside, they're wondering why you didn't twitch. You didn't twitch because you've learned how to discipline yourself, control your mind, put your spirit, mind in alignment to where you understand really what they're doing is more about what they're struggling with than what I'm going with. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's basic. It's basic, but it's very tough. It's called a kingdom response versus a natural response. You understand? Yielded flesh doesn't react.
Come on, say that again.
Yielded flesh does not react. Catherine Kuhlman said that years ago. Yielded flesh does not react. Why doesn't it react? Because when I have crucified myself and I know that who I am is who I am, many times you have to understand to give somebody power over you means that you don't know who you are. And what I'm saying is that you said it right. They're treating you that way is an indication of what's wrong with them. They the one got the issue. So when you understand that, it's like you get to a point to where it's like, oh, they just need a little bit more prayer. They'll be all right. You know, brother, that's a kingdom response. A kingdom response is when they treat you like this. Lord, I just thank you that you're putting household salvation all over them. That people are running when they get up in the morning. That miracle sign, every seed that comes from them and their family forever is filled with the Holy. See, now that right there, now don't start leaving you alone. You start doing that kind of stuff.
So, man, listen, before we go on to this next point, which is all about excuses, in my book, I wrote a chapter on the crippling effect of excuses, man. But listen, guys, we're going to finish up with about 2 more points. But if you have not registered yet for my Build Your Best Year webinar, it starts on Monday. It's Monday and Tuesday, 2 days, 4 sessions. I'm going to pour my heart out, man. God's been good to me. Listen, last year, I was thriving in the midst of a pandemic. Okay, and I have no intention on losing in 2021. Every day I'm going to give myself to the days God has given me. I want to teach you how to take control of your life. Go to my website today, ricardomiller.com. Register. There's still a few slots available. Be a part of a webinar that's going to help you to take control of your year. Now, Herb Ford, with that said, there are people who will come into this year, who have come into this year, and I'm going to go out of this year because of excuses. The opportunity is going to present itself to them like that of my webinar, like that of the book that I've written, like that of different sessions that are accessible to them, but they're making excuses. Talk to us about the danger of excuses when it comes to winning.
Yeah, the problem with excuses, and I think you heard me say this before, but excuses are nails used to build houses that fall. Okay.
Wow.
Excuses are nails that we use to build houses that cannot stand. And so I think that it's important to understand that excuses can become mind-numbing narcotics.
Wow.
Excuses can be the difference between you seeing your tomorrow and remaining in your today.
Yeah.
Excuses have to do with a lack of faith. And I think the way that we get past excuses is, we hear this term in the hood sometimes. Okay, you need to man up. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You
Yep.
need to man
Yep.
up.
Yep.
Okay, you need to call it again. I need you to think like God.
Yep.
You
Yep.
understand? I need you to
Yep.
think like God.
Yep.
You need to call it what it is. Adam didn't ask God what to call a zebra. He didn't
Yep.
ask God, you understand,
Yep.
what to do as far as with the cats and the lions and the animals. No. The Bible says that he named them. Why? How did he name them? He named them because spiritually he was strong. He wasn't he wasn't operating off of information, he was operating off of revelation. And so
Yep.
many
Yep.
times what people do is when you live your life based off of yesteryear, based off of what other people said, based off of the crutch, okay, that you've lived your life on before, it can have you staying in the same place. You know, the
Yep.
Bible gives us a perfect example of a man that was laying at the pool of Bethesda. And
Yep.
he had been there for 38 years, the Bible says.
Yep.
And Jesus came and said, hey, man, he walked over every single person in the place. And I want to let you know right now, Jesus is walking through the
Yep.
United States. Jesus is walking through the Bahamas, through Jamaica right now.
Yep.
And he's trying to find out who wants to be healed.
Yep.
He's trying
Yep.
to find
Yep.
out
Yep.
who wants to go to the next level. He's trying
Yep.
to find out where the kingdom people. He's
Yep.
trying to find out who are the people that are going to be my ambassadors in 2021.
Yep.
So that when people see them, they see me, my God. But
Yep.
the
Yep.
only way that's going to happen is you cannot go with excuses.
Yep.
This man says, hey, Jesus, every time I get ready, because an angel will come down and stir the pool up. He said, every time I get ready to get into the pool, somebody else jumps in before me.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Well, if he had just made the decision to just stay in the pool and not get out, then he wouldn't have had no problem. Sometimes, baby, you got to jump in the pool. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to jump in the pool. You have to be motivation will cause you to put distractions behind you. Motivation will cause you to run through a troop and leap over a wall. Motivation will have you jumping over excuses like you jumping over hurdles. Motivation will have you jumping so far that you jump a world record. I remember hearing this because you in Texas. I remember a wealthy Texas landowner had brought his daughter out, and he brought her out. She was having a coming out party kind of for her, and he was multi-billionaire, and he brought all the best guys, and the best guys showed up with their suits on and tuxedos. He said, guys, I'm a multi-billionaire, and I'm going to give you, one of you are going to get to marry my daughter. But let me tell you what, you're on that side of the pool, and I'm on this side of the pool. I've taken the liberty to fill the pool with electric eels and sharks and barracudas and manta rays, and it's filled with them and piranhas. And all you have to do is swim from that side of the pool to this side of the pool, and the first one here is going to get to marry my daughter. No sooner than he looked up, there was a dripping guy standing up there, you understand, and whatnot, with holes in the suit, tattered, looking at him and going like, what? He said, man, how did you get here? That is a world record that will never be found. That is a world record that will never be competed. What did you do to get here there, young man? He said, sir, excuse me, I'm just looking for the man that pushed me in the pool. Look, motivation will get you places that your limiting thinking excuses will never get you.
Ain't that the truth, man? Listen, go ahead and write in the comment section, guys. No more excuses. Okay? You were born to win. You're going to win. No more excuses. Okay? Write that down. I'm assigned to help. Okay? And that's why we're doing this morning. My assignment in the earth is to help people to live life effectively. Okay? So I want you to own the statement that, listen, I'm going to win in every area of my life. But you're going to have to decide to kill excuses. Okay? Excuses will limit you from ever living your best life. It will hold you back, and it will cause you to stand on the sideline and watch other people keep going up. Okay? And here's the deal. You know, and I know that there are people who are so less skilled than you, but they ain't making no excuses. And guess what? They're taking in all the winnings, man. They're taking in all the winnings. And you got to tell yourself in 2021, I'm coming for all that's mine, baby.
Man, I'm just for the man that pushed me in the pool. That's what I'm just looking for the man that I gotta get there, but
hey, God pushed you in the pool, brother. God pushed you into 2021. Come on, listen. God pushed that vision, pushed you in the pool. Come on, somebody. Your mama pushed you in the pool. Come on. Your best friend who believed in you that you could get to that girl on the other side, he pushed you in the pool. Let me tell you something. It is jumping in that pool with all that crazy stuff where you say, listen, no more excuses. I'm coming for what's mine. I was born to live a certain kind of way, and I'm going to fight to get to what I'm supposed to have so that God can be glorified. For guilt, there are some people who are struggling with guilt, and they're bringing guilt in from one year, from seasons of their life where they're not letting stuff go. Listen, we've all had our moments in life where if you keep holding on to those things that literally didn't work out the way they were supposed to, you will never get to the place where you were destined to be. Talk to us about guilt and how that can limit us from winning.
yeah, guilt is very powerful force, because obviously everybody has 2020 vision after they have come out of a situation or come out of a circumstance. However, the great thing about who you are is you have the capacity to change what you think and how you think. How do we change the way we think and how we think? We do that through not only the Word of God, but resources like the Effective Living book right here. We do that through resources like this to get our mindset in a different place. I remember reading a book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Outliers. And Malcolm Gladwell said, in order to become a professional at something, it took you about 10,000 hours with that particular content in order to become a professional. Do you know that any student can grow up and make a decision that they want to become an astronaut if they just study aeronautics? Someone can be a champion or a world-renowned chef if they just do the work that's required in that particular area. People can become, athletics is a little different, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to have some genetics working for you as well. But what I want to make sure that you understand is sometimes that guilt and those kind of things that I didn't do it the best way. I didn't do it, you know what I'm saying, whatnot. That's kind of living in yesterday. And today is 2021. And so one of the greatest things that you can ever learn how to do in life is turn the page and reset. That's one of the greatest things that you could ever learn in life is to reset. Now you have to figure out the way that you reset. Whether, some people like to reset by sketching, jotting down and writing stuff. Some people like to reset by putting goals down. Some people like to reset a couple different ways. I remember the Bible tells us that Jesus, when his cousin, John the Baptist, was killed, I think the Bible records that right after that time, either right after that time or Lazarus, that one of them, in order for him to reset, one of the things he did, he went on a miracle tirade. Do you understand what I'm saying? He healed people. He fed 5,000. He did stuff that it was like within those 2 chapters, he did almost more miracles than the whole rest of the Bible. Why? Because he learned, he knew how to reset. Though this happened, that doesn't stop me or limit me from what I got to do. So I think that what we have to do is we have to grab guilt, and have a mentality like the Michigan Wolverine coach. He said, I have to attack this day with enthusiasm, not known to mankind. You understand what I'm saying? And so to be able to go after it and get past that guilt and those kind of things. Why? Because they can really be those concrete boots that stop us from flying.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here joined with my friend Herb Ford. He's in Lima, Ohio. I'm in Houston, Texas this morning, and it's day 1 of 2021. And our goal is to help you to understand you were born to win. Now you have to decide to win. You have to decide you're coming for all that belongs to you in 2021. Herb Ford, the last one, and we're going to bring this in. We got 3-5 minutes to finish this deal off. Fear. Oh, my goodness, fear. And we know the Bible says that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but there are a lot of people who are battling with internal fear. Fear to start that business, fear to go back to school, fear to move out of that village, the fear to literally apply for that position, fear to go for the house, fear to talk to the loan officer, fear Listen, if you want to win, you got to have to overcome fear. And as you talked about being pushed in, the guy might have never jumped in. But God has a way sometimes of having us get to push in, and we then realize fear got to go because I got to swim. Talk to us about the crippling effect of fear in the life of a person who wants to win.
Yeah, I remember Will Smith in the movie that he was in with his son, and it was all these monsters and different things like that. And he was trying to train his son how to deal with adversity. And one of the things that he said is that danger is very real. Danger is real. He said, but fear is a choice. Okay, fear is there. God allowed fear to be upon us for a reason. Sometimes you don't understand. If you don't have fear, you don't know you're in danger. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't have fear, you don't know that not to put your hand in a saw. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't, there's certain things that, but what the Bible says is that he's not giving us the spirit of fear. Okay. Spirit of fear comes from Satan. And what the enemy wants to do is he wants to always limit the believer. Why? Because the more believers out there, the more fires he got to be putting out. Do you understand what I'm saying? More things he got to deal with. So many times when we always, as a pastor, it's quite naturally for me to talk about fear versus faith. Now, we don't have time for me to talk about the subject of faith here on this show, but I do want to make sure that you understand is that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. You have to first make sure that you can hear what God is saying and the direction that he wants you to go. And then you have to, not just, when you come into a problem. I heard Brother Copeland talk it like this. He said, pray, listen, act. Got it? Okay. Pray, listen. Why? Because God is going to tell you something through his word. God's going to tell you something through prayer. He's going to tell you something with the inner witness. What do I mean by inside witness or on the inside? What I mean like this is almost like not so much your conscience, but what I'm saying is that on the inside of you, you can hear, I need to go this way, or no, I need to stand back in this way. Why? Because it's kept you from danger a whole lot of other times. So what I'm saying is that you just use that internal GPS that's already there, okay, to kind of help you. And sometimes what you have to do is you have to clear the airways, okay? And I put it this way before. Sometimes you have to clear the airways because fear will try to choke you. The airways, what do I mean by airways? I mean Candy Crush. I mean, all that TV you watching. I know Mr. Ricardo Miller at one time, he threw a TV out. You know what I'm saying? I still don't know. TV. Why? Because those are limiting thoughts. You understand what I'm saying? Limiting thoughts. And God doesn't want you to be limited no kind of way. Why? Because he has all power. You understand what I'm saying? He has all riches. You understand? He has all strength. And so you have the same thing. Baby, all you have to do is tap into it. And so what I don't want you to do, leave away from this broadcast today thinking that that God is not with you or that you can't accomplish something. I want you to stop looking at failure as an option. But I want you to think about if you fail at something, just understand this. It is one step closer to the solution. Okay. It's part of that particular solution. It's not just the one thing, it's part of it. I remember reading about who was it? Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders went to 1,000 banks before anybody ever said that they would back him having a franchise making chicken. Why? Because he failed one time. He failed 1,000 times. No, he didn't fail 1,000 times. He just found out a better way to do it. That's what he did. Okay. So you have to keep moving forward. Somebody say that today. Keep moving forward. It's the same thing with what is it? Your girl who made the Harry Potter series. She was a welfare divorced mom who had nothing going on, and she wrote the manuscript on a broken typewriter of what would become the Harry Potter deals right there. She's on welfare. She's on welfare. Nothing was going well for her. I want to make sure that you understand it's the same. It's that limiting kind of thinking. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper. He was fired from a newspaper because they said that he, as an artist, cartoon artist, because they said he didn't have enough creativity. Walt Disney. Disney. So I don't want you to think that was one track closer to him getting to where he need to be. And I want to make sure you understand that don't allow fear to stop you from going one step
Yeah.
closer
Yeah.
to the intended result.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here on Effective Living. We gave you practical things that you can do that can help you to win. 2021, it's all about winning, baby. If you want to win, join the community. Be a part of what we're doing here on Effective Living. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Go ahead and like our page on Facebook. Register for the webinar that's happening on Monday and Tuesday. It's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm in Houston. Listen, I'm writing for it. I'm going over my notes. I'm preparing. And listen, man, I'm coming out on Monday because really the truth is this is a couple of days where I'm off. I'm just dropping in and giving some content right now. But the next few days, it's all about preparing for Monday, boy, because Miller's about to come out of the gate. Miller's about to come out of the gate. I'm going hard because you know why? Days are expensive, beautiful people. Days are expensive. A day wasted is a day you will never have again. A year wasted is a year you will never have again. You better declare with me, with confidence, with my kingdom brother Herb Ford, 2021 will be the year for winning in every area of my life. Don't be afraid to declare it. Get closer to a community that supports you with that idea and watch 2021 be your best year ever. Herb Ford, thank you for joining me on this beautiful Friday morning, the first day of 2021. Don't forget, guys, go ahead and put in the comment hashtag winning in 2021. Bye-bye, guys.